had to have had an easy road, Bill. You didn't have to go through hardships. I mean, maybe you had to work hard for the silver medal, but you had an easy upbringing. Why don't you start there? Because I think that's really important.
Yeah, there's definitely not been any part of my life that's been easy. I was born to a mom that was a drug addict, very well known on the streets of Utah, in and out of 17 foster homes as a kid, involved with gangs, drugs, violence, alcohol, all while I was still in elementary school. That's what I was used to, and that's what I was exposed to. And I was told that I was never going to amount to anything, even by close family members, that you will still follow in the footsteps of your mom. You'll end up in jail, prison, or dead by the time you're 16. And so from an early age, I was just dealt the cards that nobody ever expected me to pull out a flush on. And at a young age, I did realize that we live in an omnipotent world, and there's so many opportunities if we choose to pursue them, and if we choose to take the accountability for our own lives and do the things that we want to do. And at a young age, at 7th grade, I decided to do that and started my journey back then. And now looking back, and I still have a lot of amazing things in the future, but back then it was just to be able to change my stars and do something that no one ever expected, and prove to myself, more importantly, that I could do it.
So in 7th grade, is that when you decided, I don't want to be part of the drug life, I'm going to switch, I'm going to start honing in and becoming better and become the Bill you are today? Is that when the decision?
Leading up to that, I was still bouncing back and forth from foster care, getting, the state would release me back to my mom when she'd get out of jail or prison. And in this particular time, my mom had gotten in trouble and I was taken away again, but the state gave my grandmother an option. If she was willing to take me in, or else I was going to go to my 18th foster home. And when I moved from the streets of Salt Lake City to Roy, Utah, more of a suburb, community, if you will, neighborhood, that was the first time I actually noticed like kids that were happy and excited and wore new clothes to school and there weren't gangs and violence and drugs and all that stuff. And that was my first glimpse of like, oh my gosh, there is a different world. And I was very, very attracted to what that looked like. And just really came to the conclusion, while all the other kids were out playing games and having fun, I was like, I want to change my stars and not have to grow up into a position where, I'm providing the same lifestyle that my mom was providing me. And nothing against her, my mom was caught up in her own world, and I get it and I understand it now. But I just knew that there was something much, much more for me, and decided to just figure out a way to pursue that dream. And mine got started off by asking my coaches and my teachers, what do I need to do to, change my stars and change the direction of the life I'm going to?